So the lift is sitting in its position. The top brace is bolted on. I'm not hooking anything else up. I'm not putting the cables in or the arms on because I'm going to be epoxying the floors. So I have to clean the whole floor and then epoxy it. And that's why I also brought the drill press in, because you got to bring it in with the forklift. And if you see, so whenever you're doing anything with the forklift, it leaves a lot of marks on the floor. So I wanted to get all that messing around done. Now all this will have to be cleaned for the epoxy floor. Alright, so I am prepping my floors for epoxy. So I took, this half has kind of been done. There are a few spots. So I'm using this, it's just a floor sander with like a Scotch-Brite pad on it to do the scrubbing. And I'm using this little pump-up spray gardener with some of the dollar store LA's Totally Awesome, as seen on TV apparently. I've never seen it on TV, but that's what I'm using to do the degreasing. This is the first clean. I just gave it a good sweep. If you watched my other video, you know I'm just going to be epoxying right around my posts on my lift and my legs in the table. That's why they're taped up. And yes, even the base of the drill press, not moving it all out. So, some areas came out really good. Other areas, like over here, my forklift was parked back here. Now I just put some more stuff on this spot and that spot, but you can see it kind of dripped. So I'm really hopeful that these two areas will actually be clean enough for that to bond. So I'll probably come back through here at least one more time and scrub those with degreaser. So a little spot there and there. Okay, so one thing also that I'm doing, when I poured the slab, I ordered enough concrete to do the whole thing in one big pour. So I split it right down the center, which this right here is the center. So I split it right down the center. I poured this half first, and then I came around and started heading back here. We got back to here, and the guy was like, "Truck's almost empty." It was like, what? So I hurried up, ran inside, called the place back, ordered another 3 yards actually of concrete. And then by the time he was able to get it here, everything up here in the UP takes a lot longer and a lot slower. Not ripping on anybody or anything like that. It's just kind of the way it is. Not a lot of companies up here doing this stuff. So anyway, by the time it got here, this slab I had already taken the power troweled the whole thing 4 times. You could walk on it, and then they showed up with the 3 yards to finish this off. And so anyway, so I have gone back through here now. Yeah, I had put 2 2x4s together. That's why there's that little jog to make this. Well, I was waiting for the concrete. So now I chiseled some of it out a little bit, busted it back because they were just a little bit off from each other. I'm sure that finger illustration right there just showed you exactly how they were off from each other. But anyway, so now I'm going to go back in here and vacuum this out. So I'm still working on the epoxy prep. So I am using, let's see if you can get these. This is the Rustoleum Fast Patch, Concrete Patch and Repair. So that is what I'm trying out here, and I will let you know what I think of it. It's always best to wear flip-flops whenever you're working anywhere. I've learned that one from roadkill, especially when you're doing like anything with a torch. That's awesome. Sparks don't stick. Anyway, back to the epoxy. So you're supposed to kind of scrape everything off after you get it into the crack. I kind of found that a little bit hard to do, to actually get it off. So this stuff is supposed to be completely, you can go right over it with my Rustoleum epoxy flooring. So my plan is, I saw another guy on YouTube, and he kind of just took a sander and went around after it was hardened and lightly sanded it. So I'm going to do that just to see if it kind of flattens some of it out. but I filled lots of little holes like that. Kind of see some of the little imperfections in my concrete. I tried to just sort of fill them up. So anyway, I'm going to keep the shop back out here, sand these off a little bit. Hopefully it'll dry fairly quick. I didn't actually read to see how soon it would be done, but I'm hoping pretty quick, so I can go ahead, knock this off with a little bit of sandpaper, and call it ready to go. Okay guys, thought I would show you how the floor came out. So we did the epoxy shield, and then we did heavy chips, as I showed you in some of the other videos, I think. Put a lot of chips down. Obviously, you know, there's some variations where it's thicker, where it's thinner, but that's kind of the overall look of the floor. So it came out looking really nice. A couple things. Oh, the crack repairs, where I did the crack repairs. You might be able to see, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, lumpiness, if you will, in the concrete in a few of the spots. Some of the areas you can't even tell it at all. So there's where I taped off the floor, and so that's like a cracked area right there. And so that crack filled in beautifully. There was the little small, real small cracks. Those you really can't see at all now that the clear is on. So we did the regular, and then we put the clear on after everything else. Now the only thing that I have found is we missed a few spots. I don't know if you'll be even able to tell it, but like right there, that's got clear, and then right here it's not. So there's like a little area right there where we missed it. There's a spot or two here. There's a little one there. There's a little one. Let me see if I can get at the right angle. That's right. Yeah. They're very tough to see just looking. If you just walked in, you probably wouldn't see them. Back here in the darker corners, you know, you don't see anything. It's got a really nice gloss. If this holds up even remotely good, I'll be super happy. Okay, right here though, you can see, okay, right there, that is a dry spot. That dry spot is about 1 foot by 8 inches. You can just kind of see, if you won't be able to see, but Maybe. Yeah, there you go. So right there, when I was rolling it, I must have just rolled right past it. Little spot. So there's lots of little spots. Not enough to where I don't want to have to buy a whole nother kit because this took 3 kits to do this. And I don't want to buy another kit just to do those spot repairs because unfortunately the clear coat for this is the Rustoleum clear coat for the professional kits. This clear coat is in those bags, and so you squeeze the bag together, and so it's all mixed. And so there is no, like, oh, I'll just mix up a little bit and touch up these couple of spots. So I have to try to find something that I can do that with. I've got a couple of ideas, and so I'm hoping to do that before I get too much traffic or anything else in here.